Hello, folks! Imagine being a millionaire before you finish school. Luke Littler did just that. Darts in one hand, destiny in the other. A teen shaking up the sports world. Fame, critics, and unstoppable success? If you want to know how he did it, listen up. Here's how he broke the game. So, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the Daily World Pod by Zebratruth. I'm your host, Thomas Smith, and today we're unpacking the major sports story that has shaken up the world of sports this year. We're joined today by our expert, Jane. Jane, welcome to the show. And let's dive right in, shall we? Let's kick things off with what might be the most unlikely sports headline of the decade. Luke Littler, barely out of high school, is now a household name, topping Google's UK athlete searches, and even out-trending the Prime Minister. What's your gut reaction to this whirlwind of fame?
Thank you, Thomas. It's absolutely fabulous to be here with you today. Honestly, it's wild. Teen phenom Luke Littler has taken the darts world by storm, becoming the youngest world champion at 17 and topping Google's UK athlete searches in 2024. Balancing fame, a packed schedule, and criticism, including accusations of arrogance and body shaming, Littler stays focused with support from his manager. His rapid rise, unique style, and handling of controversy are redefining darts for a new generation. It is super inspiring for the new generation of kids interested in sports. Imagine being 17 and outselling Lionel Messi in search stats. It's like if Harry Potter started trending higher than the Queen after winning a chess match. Littler's story isn't just about darts, it's about someone smashing through expectations. And I think young people see themselves in that leap.
Totally. And it's not just buzz, he's got the silverware to back it up. Premier League champ, youngest to win the Triple Crown, and now a world champion at 17. But behind this, there's a pressure cooker, right? I mean, most of us could barely manage our homework at that age.
Absolutely. Littler himself admitted he needs to skip tournaments just to breathe. His schedule is so jam-packed, it almost sounds like a Marvel superhero origin story, except instead of saving the world, he's saving energy for the next match.
And what stands out is how transparent he is about that struggle. He talks openly about burnout and working with his manager to balance life and darts. That's pretty rare in sports, especially for someone who's still technically a teenager.
It is. And it sends a bigger message, too. Success isn't just about talent or luck. It's about knowing your limits and pushing back when things get too much, which is a lesson most adults are still figuring out. Littler's giving Gen Z a masterclass in self-care under pressure.
Let's pivot to the less glamorous side, public scrutiny. Littler's career has been peppered with not just praise, but also accusations and even body shaming. The Belgian Open saw him called arrogant on stage, and then there's the recent media storm over his diet. How do you see these pressures shaping his journey?
It's almost textbook. The higher you rise, the more people want to poke holes in your armor. The Belgian Open drama was classic sports theater. Pietreczko's accusation felt more like psychological warfare than genuine criticism. Littler's response? Classic teenager. No idea what I did wrong. Then he just wins the final anyway.
The media takes things to a whole new level, though. Adil Ray's comments on national TV about Littler's eating habits and appearance sparked genuine outrage. Some called it fat shaming. Others said it was just concern for health. Where's the line between public interest and personal boundaries?
That's the million-dollar question. On one hand, famous athletes are role models, so people scrutinize everything about them. But at 17, being told on TV to swap pizza for salad, that's rough. There's a difference between caring and shaming, and sometimes it's as thin as a darts wire.
Plus, studies show body shaming, especially for young public figures, can lead to mental health issues. Yet, some argue public concern is valid if it's about longevity in sports. Is this just another example of society projecting its own anxieties onto celebrities?
Exactly. It's a balancing act. Littler's not the first to be caught in this crossfire. Remember the uproar when Serena Williams was criticized for her physique? The lesson here is, we need to let young stars be human, not just headlines.
Speaking of drama, let's talk about one of the more, let's say, pungent stories. James Wade's infamous victory aided by a well-timed fart. This isn't just locker room humor. It actually raises real questions about sportsmanship and unwritten rules in darts. Should there be a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct like this?
I mean, who knew flatulence could win championships? On a serious note, every sport has its own code, the so-called gentleman's agreement. In darts, it's no different. There's no official rule against farting, but there's definitely an expectation not to weaponize it.
It's funny, but also fascinating. UFC fans have even debated whether a silent but deadly move should be outlawed. In baseball, you don't stare down your home run. In darts, maybe you don't clear the room. Is this about respect for the game or just keeping things civil?
Probably both. Sports culture thrives on these gray areas. The Wade incident will go down in history alongside McGregor's pre-fight antics. Maybe what we're really debating is how much gamesmanship we're willing to tolerate before it becomes, well, a stinker.
And it's not just an old man's sport anymore. Darts is becoming younger, faster, and maybe a little more irreverent. Littler's own walk-on music is Pitbull, not polka. Is the new generation changing the culture for the better, or is something being lost in translation?
Change always ruffles feathers. Some traditionalists will complain, but the sport needs fresh energy. If a little humor and a lot of confidence bring in new fans, especially younger ones, I say let them play, just maybe with some air freshener on standby.
Let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Littler's story isn't just about winning. It's about changing perceptions. Darts, once seen as a pub pastime, is now a stage for young, diverse talent. Does his rise signal a shift in how we value different sports and the people who play them?
Absolutely. Littler's success is cracking open old stereotypes. Darts isn't just for middle-aged blokes in smoky bars anymore. It's an international spectacle. And the fact he's inspiring kids to pick up the game proves it's got real cultural traction now.
There's also a deeper critique here, how society treats young talent. Littler's journey exposes both the opportunities and the toxic pressures young stars face, from relentless schedules to public scrutiny. What should change to support athletes like him?
We need to rethink both policy and culture. That means better mental health support, realistic scheduling, and maybe even stricter guidelines for media coverage of minors. In the end, it's about letting talent breathe, not just perform.
And with Dart's global rise, maybe the next Luke Littler comes from anywhere, your local youth center, or halfway across the world. As we wrap up, what's your hope for the future of the sport?
More inclusivity, more fun, and more epic walk-on songs. Seriously, if darts can transform from niche to mainstream, it signals that any passion, no matter how quirky, can unite people, spark debate, and even make history.
So, whether you see Littler as a hero, a headline, or just a talented teen under pressure, his journey offers lessons for all of us. From mental health and media scrutiny to breaking down stereotypes, darts is suddenly a lens on society itself. Here's a question to close. In your own life, where are you pushing your limits or feeling the weight of expectations?
That's a great challenge. Littler's story reminds us that it's okay to set boundaries, to take pride in your quirks, and to laugh at the odd fart joke along the way. Whatever your game, play it your way, and don't be afraid to make noise, literally or figuratively.
We hope today's conversation gave you some new angles, a few laughs, and maybe even inspired you to see past the headlines. If you've got thoughts, hot takes, or just a killer walk-on song idea for the next darts prodigy, drop them in the comments or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And remember, whether you're trending on Google or just aiming for your personal best, the real win is finding the balance between ambition and authenticity. Until next time, keep questioning, keep playing, and keep the conversation rolling. Okay, on that positive note, that is a wrap for today then. Well, thanks to everyone for listening to the Daily World Pod by Zebratruth. If you learned something today or got a little fired up, share the episode, subscribe, and stay tuned. We'll be back with more from the bleeding edge of AI and sports. Meanwhile, you can also visit our website, www.zebratruth.com, and download our app to stay informed and stay connected.